If you're over 60, there are 4 fish you have to eat and 4 you should never touch. This is a nightmare that nobody is telling you about. Fish consumption by 99% of seniors can increase the risk of stroke and memory loss by up to 80%. I'll believing it to be healthful. It's not an exaggeration, you know. Seniors who consume the wrong kinds of fish just twice a week may increase their risk of major health problems by as much as 70%, per a startling 2023 study published in The Lancet. Furthermore, according to recent research published in the Journal of Gerontology, eating the correct fish may reduce your risk of Alzheimer's by as much as 40%. Conversely, the wrong ones can have the opposite effect, clogging arteries, causing invisible toxins to pollute your body, and even speeding up aging from the inside out. You most likely have the most dangerous fish in your refrigerator right now, and it could increase your risk by an astounding 83% without you even realizing it. 3 is actual, peer-reviewed evidence to support every assertion in this video. Facts, not gossip or scare tactics. The sources are listed in the description that follows. Before we begin, tell us where you're watching from, how old you are, what kind of fish you eat most frequently, and why, in the comments section below. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to Man After 70 for more videos like this one. We read and respond to all comments. Without further ado, let's begin by discussing the top 4 fish after 60. Wild-caught Pacific cod is number 4. Although it may not receive as much attention as salmon or tuna, the mild white fish known as Pacific cod is a nutritional treasure trove for older adults and should be given much more credit. One of the most effective protein sources you can consume is wild-caught Pacific cod because of its exceptionally high protein content and almost fat-free nature. About 40 grams of complete protein, less than 2 grams of fat, and 180 calories are provided in a single serving. Since sarcopenia, or age-related muscle loss, affects up to 50% of people over 80 and can significantly lower quality of life, this lean protein profile is especially helpful for seniors who need to maintain muscle mass while controlling their weight. Pacific cod has an extremely high selenium content. One serving supplies more than 100% of your daily requirements because it supports thyroid function, strengthens the immune system, and functions as a potent antioxidant that shields cells from oxidative damage. Selenium is a trace mineral that becomes more and more significant as we age. Seniors with higher selenium levels have better cognitive function and fewer age-related disease cases, according to research from the National Institutes of Health. Impressive amounts of vitamin B12, which is essential for nerve function and preventing the kind of anemia that frequently strikes older adults, and phosphorus, which works in tandem with calcium to maintain bone density, are also found in Pacific cod. The sustainability and purity of Pacific cod are what truly distinguish it from other white fish. One of the world's best-managed fisheries is Alaska's wild Pacific cod, which accumulates far less mercury and other toxins than longer-lived species due to their relatively short lifespans. Fish from the North Pacific's cold, clear waters have firm, flaky flesh that is easy to digest and doesn't upset sensitive people's stomachs like fattier fish can. Pacific OD's delicate protein structure and selenium content, which can be harmed by high-heat cooking techniques like frying or grilling, are best preserved by baking or steaming it gently at medium temperatures. Combine Pacific cod with a healthy fat source, such as avocado or olive oil, and squeeze in some lemon juice for the best nutrient absorption. Third place, sardines. Sardines may not seem like much, but they are incredibly beneficial to the health of the elderly. In essence, eating sardines gives your body a total nutritional makeover. Here's why it matters so much to people over 60. These little fish have more omega-3 fatty acids per serving than nearly any other fish. Our bodies naturally create more inflammatory chemicals as we age, which can lead to anything from heart disease to joint pain. Sardines' omega-3 fatty acids literally put out the fire of inflammation in your cells by acting as natural anti-inflammatory agents. But that's NLE the beginning of sardines' unique qualities. One of the few foods that naturally has high levels of vitamin D is sardines, and as we age, this becomes increasingly important. Our skin's ability to produce vitamin D from sunlight decreases after the age of 60, and many elderly people experience deficiencies without even realizing it. Depression, ache and bone, and an elevated risk of falls can result from this deficiency. In addition to providing a significant amount of calcium that your bones sorely require, one can of sardines supplies roughly 40% of your daily requirements for vitamin D. Because it is combined with phosphorus and vitamin D to form the ideal trio for bone health, the calcium in sardines is especially well absorbed. Sardines are unique because of their extremely low status in the food chain. Sardines hardly ever accumulate mercury or other toxins that affect larger fish species, because they eat plankton instead of other fish. This implies that eating them on a regular basis won't cause heavy metal accumulation in your body. They are also rich in vitamin B12, which is necessary for preserving healthy function and avoiding the dizziness that many seniors suffer from, but becomes more difficult to absorb as we age. Sardines contain complete, easily digestible protein that helps preserve muscle mass, which naturally declines with age. Seniors who eat sardines twice a week have stronger bones, better cardiovascular health, and more stable moods than those who don't, according to studies. Second place, Alaskan salmon caught in the wild. There's a reason why wild-caught Alaskan salmon is regularly ranked as one of the world's healthiest foods by nutritionists, and it's practically therapeutic for the elderly. Although wild salmon has an incredible amount of omega-3, the type of omega-3 is what really matters. High concentrations of EPA and DHA, two types of omega-3 that your brain adores, are found in wild salmon. Seniors who had higher blood levels of DHA had larger brain volumes and did better on memory tests, according to research from the University of Pittsburgh. Improving brain function well into our 70s, 80s, and beyond is the goal here, not merely halting decline. Nutritionists refer to the protein in wild salmon as bioavailable, which means that practically all of it can be utilized by your body. After age 60, when muscle loss quickens and your body's ability to process protein declines, this becomes more crucial. About 40 grams of high-quality protein, found in just one serving of wild salmon, support immune system function, help maintain muscle mass, and keep your metabolism running smoothly. However, the majority of people are unaware of this. Astaxanthin is a potent antioxidant found in wild salmon that gives the fish its pink hue. When it comes to shielding your cells from oxidative stress, basically the rust that builds up in our bodies as we age, this substance is extremely effective. Additionally, wild-caught Alaskan salmon is high in selenium, a mineral that many elderly people lack. Together with vitamin E, selenium protects your heart and may even help prevent some types of cancer. Salmon contains B vitamins, particularly 6 and B12, which promote energy production and preserve normal nerve function. The impact of salmon on the body's inflammatory markers is especially remarkable. Eating wild salmon twice a week has been shown to lower C-reactive protein levels, a crucial indicator of inflammation connected to arthritis and heart disease. Wild salmon is highly effective at promoting healthy aging from a variety of perspectives because of its high-quality protein, omega-3 fatty acids, and antioxidants. First place, rainbow trout. Here are some reasons why rainbow trout should be at the top of this list. It is ideal for senior because it has some social benefits in addition to all the advantages of other healthful fish. One of the cleanest and most sustainable fish you can eat is rainbow trout raised on American farms. Rainbow trout in the United States are raised under strict regulations in pristine conditions, unlike many farmed fish that are fed unnatural diets and loaded with antibiotics. This implies that you receive all the nutritional advantages without any of the possible contaminants associated with farm fish that many people are concerned about. With roughly 1,000 milliliters of omega-3 per serving, rainbow trout has a significant amount of omega-3 that is ideal for protecting the heart. However, trout's remarkable mineral content is what really makes it unique. Because of its high potassium content, it helps control blood pressure and mitigates the negative effects of a diet high in sodium. Given that almost 70% of adults over 60 suffer from high blood pressure, this is especially important for seniors. Significant amounts of iron for energy production. zinc for immune system function, and phosphorus for bone health are also found in trout. Together with the fish's rhenium protein, these minerals have a synergistic effect that promotes general health and vitality. Niacin, also known as vitamin B3, is abundant in rainbow trout and is essential for both sustaining healthy cholesterol levels and converting food into energy. According to studies, consuming enough niacin can naturally protect the heart by lowering LDL, or bad cholesterol, and increasing HDL, or good cholesterol. Surprisingly, the fish is also high in vitamin E, an antioxidant that boosts immunity and shields cell membranes from harm. Because of its mild flavor and tender texture, which make it simple to prepare and digest, trout is especially well suited for senior citizens. Additionally, it is very adaptable, blending well with a variety of seasonings and cooking techniques, which helps avoid the dietary boredom that frequently causes seniors to choose less healthful foods. These, then, were the top 4 things you should eat after turning 60. Let's now expose the fishes you should avoid touching, and the startling ways they could subtly destroy your health. The 4th is foreign catfish. This may surprise you, but OE of the worst fish options or seniors is imported catfish, especially from some Asian nations. The way these fish are raised is where the issues begin. In extremely crowded conditions where disease spreads quickly, many catfish farms abroad use a lot of antibiotics. When you eat fish, these antibiotics build up in the fish tissue and eventually enter your body. Eating fish high in antibiotics can lead to antibiotic resistance in older adults whose immune systems may already be weakened, making it more difficult to fight off infections when medication is actually needed. Antibiotics are not the only source of contamination with imported catfish. Consumer advocacy groups have tested imported catfish samples and discovered prohibited chemicals, including known carcinogens. These fish, which absorb toxins like sponges, are frequently raised in contaminated waters with high levels of industrial runoff. Levels of heavy metals like lead and mercury have been found to be dangerous to human health, particularly for elderly people whose bodies are less capable of removing toxins. Regular consumption of tainted catfish can have a cumulative effect that increases the risk of cancer, kidney damage, and neurological issues. The high inflammatory potential of imported catfish is what makes it especially harmful for elderly people. These fish are frequently fed unnatural diets that are heavy in soy and corn, which causes their flesh to have an unhealthy omega-6 to omega-3 ratio. The severe imbalance in farmed CT fish encourages inflammation all over the body, even though we need some omega-6 fatty acids. Eating imported catfish is like adding gasoline to a fire for elderly people who are already battling inflammatory diseases like arthritis, heart disease, or autoimmune disorders. This fish is a nutritional wasteland that offers calories without any of the health advantages you should anticipate from seafood because of its low-quality protein and deficiency in essential nutrients. 3rd place, tuna. As a lean, healthy protein, tuna is a lunchtime favorite, but for seniors, it conceals mercury, a danger that is invisible and intangible. At the top of the ocean, food chain are tuna, particularly the larger species like albacore or white and biggie. Because they consume other fish and live longer, they continue to accumulate mercury in their flesh year after year. That mercury doesn't simply go through your body when you eat tuna. It accumulates in your tissues, especially in the nervous system and brain. The risks are higher for people over 60. Mercury can cause symptoms that are frequently confused with aging or early dementia, such as mood swings, depression, numbness, confusion, and memory loss. Additionally, it strains your heart over time, increasing the risk of a heart attack or even causing irregular heartbeats. A study published in JAMA Neurology found that seniors who consumed more tuna that contained mercury were up to 65% more likely to experience cognitive decline. The frightening part comes next. Just 2 servings of albacore or big tuna per week can raise a senior's mercury exposure above what is deemed safe, sometimes significantly more. This fact is unknown to 99% of seniors. It's best to consume light tuna in moderation because it still contains mercury, even when it's canned and comes from smaller skipjack fish. Therefore, The silent danger of mercury simply isn't worth the tuna sandwich or salad that may seem like a healthy routine for anyone in their 60s or older. There are much safer and better fish for your brain, heart, and general well-being. Second place, mackerel cane. There are actually two distinct varieties of mackerel, which makes it a confusing one. There are two types of mackerel, the say Atlantic or Spanish mackerel, and the extremely risky cane mackerel for elderly people. Large predatory fish like cane mackerel accumulate more toxins over the course of their lives. Mercury, a heavy metal that damages the heart, brain, and nervous system, is the most worrisome of these. For elderly people, whose brains and neries are already more susceptible to harm, mercury is particularly harmful. Your blood mercury levels can rise above the safe limit if you eat cane mackerel even a few times a month. This can cause symptoms like memory loss, tremors, muscle weakness, and even mood swings that resemble anxiety or depression. Cane mackerel should be completely avoided by pregnant women, children, and older adults, according to warnings from the FDA and EPA. Unfortunately, unless you ask, you might not even be aware that you're getting the Anguirus kind of mackerel because it's frequently sold generically in shops and restaurants. Numerous studies have connected regular consumption of cane mackerel by seniors to a markedly increased risk of cardiovascular events and cognitive decline. Those who already have liver or kidney impairment of any kind, which is more prevalent after age 60, are at even greater risk. Select Atlantic or Spanish mackerel, which are smaller and significantly lower in mercury, if you want the taste and health advantages of mackerel. First place, cultivated tilapia. Here it is, farmed tilapia, arguably one of the most popular fish in America, and the fish that seniors should never eat. This may surprise you because tilapia is inexpensive, accessible, and frequently promoted as a nutritious option. However, the reality of farmed tilapia is unsettling, particularly for senior citizens. The majority of tilapia are raised using fairing methods that produce fish that are not only nutritionally worthless, but also detrimental to your health. These fish are kept in extremely cramped quarters, frequently in cages where they swim in their own waste, which fosters parasites and disease. In farmed tilapia, the omega-6 to omega-3 ratio is dreadfully bad. It can occasionally reach 11:1, when it should ideally be closer to 1:1 or 2:1. Heart disease, arthritis, and other inflammatory diseases that already afflict many seniors are exacerbated by this severe imbalance, which causes inflammation throughout your body. Eating tilapia can actually worsen inflammatory markers more than eating hamburgers or bacco, according to studies. Chicken excrement is frequently used as a low-cost protein source in the feed that is fed to farmed tilapia. This procedure raises the possibility of bacterial contamination, in addition to lowering the fish's nutritional value. The chemical contamination of farmed tilapia is what makes it especially hazardous for elderly people. In order to prevent disease in overcrowded farming conditions, these fish are regularly treated with antibiotics, pesticides, and antifungal agents. Many of these chemicals are still in use in nations where the majority of tilapia is farmed, despite being prohibited in the U.S. High concentrations of dioxins, industrial pollutants that build up in adipose tissue and are connected to immune system damage, cancer, and hormonal imbalance are also present in the fish. Consuming farmed tilapia on a regular basis is like intentionally poisoning oneself for elderly people whose bodies are less capable of removing toxins and are therefore more vulnerable to their effects. There is no justification for putting your health at risk by eating farmed tilapia when there are plenty of healthy wild-caught fish options that are frequently reasonably priced. That's it. The whole truth about fish for people over 60. You now know the facts, but most people never give their plate much thought. You're feeding your body, mind, and future when you choose the right fish. However, if you choose the wrong ones, particularly the 4 on our danger list, you may be causing unseen harm that will be difficult to repair in the future. Therefore, the next time you're at the store, think twice before purchasing your typical fish. Remember what you learned today, look at the label, and inquire about its origin. We'd like to hear from you now. Which fish is your favorite, and were you surprised by anything on this list? Now that you know the truth, would you consider changing your dinner plans? We'd love to hear your thoughts and experiences, so please share them in the comments section below. And if you found this video helpful, don't forget to subscribe to Man After 70 and turn on the notification bell for more practical, eye-opening health content. Thank you for watching.